What is up, everybody? This is Nia Pierce, editor-in-chief at SheAttack.com, and we're gonna be talking about some Nintendo stuff. Now, I know it's a little premature to be having another EST Speaks because I literally just posted one up the other day. But this is some pretty heavy news if you're a follower of Nintendo, and I felt like it would be really important to kind of talk about this stuff today. So, there's a lot of people upset, and I personally think it's pretty hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's kind of hilarious to me how mad people are. It's always kind of funny seeing everybody cry and whine, and you know, that's always fun. Anyway, by the way, I do consider myself a Nintendo fan, so you know, no shade, but it's still funny. Anyway, so let's get into these topics. So of course, the biggest thing right now is the fact that the Nintendo NX does have an official launch window, so that's pretty dope. The sad news is that the NX is launching in March of 2017, and Zelda Wii U, which we already knew was going to be Wii U and NX, is going to be launching right alongside it. So the thing that people are kind of the most sad about the most disappointed about the most is the fact that Zelda is being delayed again. And to be honest, after the delay video that Aonuma made last year, I'm kind of over it. Like, I'm emotionally done. When the game comes out, I will play it and I will enjoy it, whether that be on the Wii U or on the NX. It doesn't really matter to me. I do think that it is questionable though, which is another thing around this thing, is that Nintendo will not be talking about or announcing the Nintendo NX officially at one of the biggest trade shows for video games in the world, which, as you all know, is E3. Very, very, very silly decision in my opinion. I think it is a misstep, and I don't know why they thought this was a good idea. Everybody has been pining for NX news for like the last year. So for you, Nintendo, to tell us that you're not going to be talking about the NX at E3 really knocks the wind out of my sails as well as everybody else's sails. And I really, really wish that you guys would reconsider and say something. You don't have to give us everything, but say something about this darn console at E3, because it would be a good look. Everybody would be watching. All eyes would literally be on you. So in my opinion, it is a huge misstep to not talk about this at E3. And another insult to injury regarding E3 of this year for Nintendo is that Zelda will be the only thing to show for Nintendo at E3. Maybe they mean it's just the biggest thing, and maybe they're gonna mix with smaller announcements, but based on what they have told us, E3 2016 is gonna revolve all around Zelda Wii U /NX. So it is what it is. I think it's a misstep, but what do you do? I mean, at least they told us beforehand that the only thing we need to be expected at E3 is Zelda. Now, the redemption factor to this is that Nintendo will be having their own separate Nintendo NX event later this year. So, Nintendo has an opportunity to make this up, but they have to do it right. I don't think that a simple Nintendo Direct will do it. I think they need to do something along the lines of what Microsoft and Sony did back in 2013, where they had a separate conference. They invited all these press members, and they had it televised. They had it streamed live so that everybody would be able to peer in and see what was going on. I think that's the only thing that could possibly redeem Nintendo. Like, they have to make it an event. They can't just have like an under the radar regular Nintendo Direct and think it's gonna be cool, because this is honestly one of the most anticipated devices in gaming right now. They have to do it correctly, or else they're gonna miss their opportunity to sway people's opinions, to prove people wrong, because there are so many people upset right now, and this even goes beyond people who aren't really the biggest Nintendo fans and are looking for a reason to come back to Nintendo. This is even the most loyal of loyal fans. They're losing because they're prolonging this to such a degree that it is painful. It is painful to wait for this news. So Nintendo, yo, come correct. So aside from the Nintendo NX things and the things surrounding E3, there are some other things that were talked about at the Nintendo investors meeting today regarding their supervisory committee and the way that they're going to be doing business now. So there's some little key points in here. I don't really want to go over every single bullet point, but I will go over some that I found interesting. So I'm going to read this directly from a Nintendo document, and it says, bullet point, executive officer system. 1. Reason for introduction. By separating the management decision-making and supervisory functions from the execution of operations and accelerating the delegation of authority to execute operations, the company aims to clarify the responsibility for the execution of operations and establish a more flexible management structure which can appropriately and swiftly respond to the rapidly changing business environments. So basically what this means is that instead of Nintendo having to grovel at the feet of the board over at NCL, the old elders at Japan, they will be giving more autonomy. So say like Nintendo of America wants to do a thing, they could just do it, you know what I'm saying, with their own board within the Nintendo of America infrastructure and just be done with it. They don't have to go before Nintendo of Japan and humble themselves and do, you know, and possibly get turned down because one of the old men decided that they didn't want to do it, because that's the reason. That's how they're doing it right now. They have this board currently that they have to go before decisions are made, and if one person says they don't want to do it, it doesn't get done. They're not going to be doing it like that anymore. Now Nintendo is going to be operating more along the lines of the way that Western corporations are made, so that they can tailor what they do to the regions that they are in. And in my opinion, that is the most exciting news that comes from this. I don't know if they're actually going to implement it correctly. I hope they do. And I don't know exactly how long it's going to take for them to actually get in there and do this, but it's great. You know, it's one of the things that Sony had to do some time ago, and it is the best decision that Sony has ever made. And as a result, the PlayStation brand is flourishing not only in their home territory of Japan, but as well as, you know, all over the world, and especially Europe and the United States and North America, all over. They had to make those decisions and make it to where they could cater to whatever region they were in, and Nintendo really needs to do the same thing, and this is the very first step to that. So I give kudos to Nintendo for that. So that was pretty much a lot of the stuff that went on today. This is just so much news and little nuggets. I mean, like, we got so much news, but of course this was an investors meeting, so none of this is for us, the gamer. It's more for the investors. It's more for the, you know, the businessmen who are behind all of these decisions to kind of be up to breast on what's going on. There's also some numbers in here that I don't even really care to read. So yeah, I can't wait to hear more after E3, because they're not going to be talking about the NX at E3. Bummer. Still think it's a big mistake. But I'm not mad about the other stuff. But that's just me. I know there's a lot of people out there who are upset because the NX coming in 2017 essentially means that the Wii U is done. And I already knew the Wii U was done after 2014. So I'm like, whatever, just move on. But I can understand the Wii U owners out there that are upset about this, because the Wii U, just like the Wii, is ending prematurely with nothing to look forward to into the next big thing. So Nintendo, whenever you guys talk about the NX, y'all have to make sure y'all show y'all are willing to support it. Y'all need to show that y'all have other developers, third-party developers, indies, everybody who are behind y'all and backing y'all, because people are going to be looking at that. People no longer want to support a console that will be prematurely ended until you guys are working on your next big thing, because that's essentially what's going on now with the Wii U. We're just kind of, you know, suspended in the air while Nintendo is working frivolously to work on the Nintendo NX, and we still won't know anything about it until the end of this year. So to those of you guys who don't like NX rumors, we're gonna have to deal with it for the next couple of months until this Nintendo NX event. So sorry to break it down to you like that, but it is what it is. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and let's get this discussion going. Talk to you later. Peace.
REBOOT Game.